All right, now that you have added your photo and made it the entire background of your page, we are going to play with our photos a little bit and make them a little bit different and unique using photo effects. So if you come in here, click photo effect, you can see all of these little icons pop up, and these are all different things that you can do to your photo. We've touched on this a little bit in an earlier crop, but we're going to get a little bit more in depth tonight. So you want to make sure that your photo's selected, obviously, and you'll see a little preview image right here. So if you scroll through, you'll be able to watch this preview image and see how it's going to look when it's applied to your real photo. So if you like the look, you can go ahead and click apply here. I'm just going to kind of go through. I think I'm going to show you first. I'll just do a black and white. So I'm going to click apply. Now the thing that's fun that you need to remember is that you can layer these looks on each other. So I've done black and white, and now I want to darken it. So I'll click apply again. And now I might want to mirror. I'm going to try that. Mirror. I'm going to look. I don't really like the way that actually looks in my preview. This is why the preview, this little preview window is pretty valuable, because I don't really like the way that that looks there. So I'm not going to do that. I maybe could blur it a little to make it a little softer. That might be kind of a neat look. Let's try that. Okay. So I'm going to click OK now. You can kind of see what I have. So I have kind of a blurry image. You might think that looks a little weird right now, and it kind of does. But I'm going to show you just a couple little techniques that I kind of like to do when doing a page like this. I like to just push my opacity clear down, maybe to this. And you can see now that photo just kind of looks like a vague kind of watermarky image on my page, which I think is really cool. And then I can go in and I can journal over all of this page, or I can add some embellishments over here or whatever. And just having that photo kind of in the background is just kind of a cool effect, I think. You could also come in here and add another photo, you know, if you wanted to add another photo of the child or whoever this picture is of. You can even make it really vague. And then something I really like to do, I'm going to come and I'm just going to, if I click edit, I'm going to undo a couple things for you just so we can get back to where we started. Okay, so I just undid my blur. So now you can see I just have this black and white image of this little girl. I am again going to shift my opacity down a bit. And now I'm going to do something that's kind of fun. I'm going to come into backgrounds and I'm going to add a color for my background. So you'll see the effect that this will give me in just a second here. There we go. I'm going to do maybe like a light pink, and now click OK. And so now it's kind of a cool like blackish and pink image, which I think is kind of neat. And again, I can play with that even more by just adjusting my opacity. So let's try, just so you can see another option. Let's try maybe like a blue. Should we see what that looks like? That's kind of cool, huh? And I can also change the opacity of that blue if that was a little bit too blue for me. I can change that opacity right there. So I think that's kind of a really fun technique that can give you a lot of options for your photo. And then if I put the opacity all the way up, of course, it will change it back to black and white. So I'm just going to click this again. I am going to come back into photo effect, and now I'm going to do a sepia. I'll do the same thing and just kind of change that opacity. You can see it's just kind of one technique to give you a new look to your page, maybe something that you haven't tried before, something that you hadn't thought of. A couple more photo effects. Please go ahead and play around with all of these. I kind of like this sketch one. If you click sketch, it kind of makes it a cool abstract-y looking image, which would be really cool. You could do something really cool with that. Again, if you change that opacity down, you can get a cool look. You could also add another color behind there and then journal on top. So I think the idea is, you know, to come up with something kind of fun and unique that you can use as a background, but you can still tell that it's a photo. And then we'll go ahead and we'll add some journaling and some embellishments on top. So go ahead again, play with all of these and find one that you want to use tonight.